Like it was the bad crowd
That's the
that,
same way
got
here.
tattoos.
Yeah, yeah. It's a program. You know how so like we were just talking about ancient Egypt and Netherlands and Maori culture and stuff. And so we're going way back before all of these isolated groups of people actually started to connect through modern advancements like um, being able to fly or like easier seafaring or technology like this. Okay, so you go back that far, and the position tattooing had was extremely elevated within the societies. It was sacred, right? Then you move through to like 15th century with all of the like exploring and conquest that went on, and the destruction, rupture, and like brutality that all of these traditional cultures experienced, you know, at the hands of different groups, but a lot of it's like, the sacred conquest of like fundamental Christian spaces, um, which isn't like just to state that it's like I'm not anti the Christian belief system, especially when it moves into like an esoteric space and stuff. But if we go back, it's like we look at what was happening, and all of these misunderstood people went through pretty pretty brutal experiences. Um, for example, like the Maori people, just to sort of touch on what you were saying, Firefay, it's like if you got your lips tattooed in Egypt and you could, and you weren't meant to, you might be executed.
Yeah,
During
it was
this
also in
stage,
China too.
yeah. So during a stage in New Zealand, I was listening to this dialogue the other day. Um, People were having their heads removed to make like as like a trade because their heads were seen as being so beautiful, or as like a tourist collection item. So there was like ships coming in and people would be literally taking people from their tribe to the ships to sell them to have their heads removed. So you can see there is a time stamp where tattooing goes through an extreme, like the charge gets reversed. You know how you get a magnet, you can rub it on something, you can change the pole of the magnet through
Mhm.
that abrasive action. That's kind of what happened to tattooing. So it had a similar power to what you were experiencing from your grandmother, but it was the opposite. So there was a stage where if you had a tattoo of that bird with the keys to your city, people would have such an emotional response to you, but it would be the opposite. So be like, oh my gosh, okay, that person has the keys to this part of the town. They're in this place. I've got a lot of respect and reverence for them. I'm going to make sure my kids don't run past him and splash him with the puddle of mud or something, because that would be so embarrassing. But at the moment, it's well, for that generation, it's different, and the reason is tattooing got stopped, and there was like a change in our collective psyche that it was bad, it was wrong to do, and so it started getting used instead of elevating people within culture to punish them. So slaves would get tattooed, prisoners of war would get tattooed. You know, part of that trading of humans was to tattoo them. If you went to jail, you get tattooed. And so all of these people that were arguably actually bad people started getting given tattoos, and they saw the power of it. So like if you wanted to intimidate people, right? If you wanted people to feel that way about you, your tattoo is a very powerful tool. Think about your grandmother's generation, and if you came down the street with tattoos on your face and on your arms, she'd be terrified of you.
Yeah.
So tattoos started to get used in that way, which is the opposite of where they started out. So you can see a flip in its role.